Good morning and welcome. Good morning. Celtic, absolute shambles. Let's be perfectly honest. Um, there's nothing else to say about it, really. Absolute shambles of a club, top to bottom. We allowed the board to get away with one this summer. Now, I did question over the course of the summer why, of all the Celtic organisations, went quiet. Why hadn't they upped the pace? Enough of that. And don't even dare come out the woodwork after this bad result, is all I'm saying. You had your opportunities to put pressure on the board over the course of the summer, and every organisation went quiet. Wait until the new season. Wait until allowing the board to make the same mistakes again and again and again. It's been six 2017 was the last time that we qualified for the 2017 was the last time that we qualified for the Champions League through a playoff. 2018, we went out and qualified round 3 to AEK Athens. 2019, we went out to Cluj and qualifying round 3. 2020, we went out to Robbie Keane's old team and qualifying round 2, although he wasn't the manager then. 2021, we go out to Midtjylland and qualifying round 2. 2025, we go out to Karat Almaty, an absolute shambles of a club, Celtic are. Last night, we went out again. Nearly 10 years of failure. 10 years of the same mistakes. 10 years of the same people running the club. Last night you had our interim chairman swanning about the fans before the game, getting all smiley. Yous have allowed these fuckers. Sorry for swearing first thing in the morning. I do apologise, but I'm very, very annoyed. And I'm even more pissed off at all these organisations that are all vying for the Celtic support and all saying, yeah, sign up with us and we're all fine against the bird. Fuck off. Where have you been all summer? That's when you had to get everyone together. But no, we allowed Celtic to bring in 4 players. Luke McCowan was still at the club. Arne Engels was being sold. We knew he was going. We knew Dyson Maeda was going. We allowed 16 players to leave the club. We call for them a tribute acts playing nostalgia shirts, nostalgia manager. We're a full-time glorified legends club. We need a strong set to boost the. I'm going to talk about the coefficient. In fact, I'm going to go over to this screen because it's not only us that are a shambles in Europe. Let's face it. Scotland as a nation has now dropped down to 19th. 19th. For everyone coming on last night and taking the pure piss out of Celtic fans, fair enough. We give it out over the course of the season. We've got to take it back. Big enough to take it. I never read the comments anyway. But Scotland as a nation is down. Hungary are above us. Cyprus are above us. Chechnya are above us. Turkey are above us. Poland are above us. Sweden are below us. Sweden are below us in 20th position. Croatia are 21st. Romania are in 22nd. And Ukraine and Israel are then 23rd and 24th. We keep going down any further. Well, at least we're not Ireland. They're 32nd in the league. Don't know what the Irish have done so badly for, but anyway. It's been confirmed. These are the pots for the Europa League. The Europa League. And these are the teams that we will get in the Europa League. Let me just take that down to there. Pot 1, Bayer Leverkusen, Germany. Pot 2, potentially Benfica, Portugal. They haven't been confirmed as yet. Juventus, Italy. AC Milan, Jesus God. Olympiacos, Fenerbahce, Real Sociedad, and Marseille. There is no easy teams in pot 1. Pot 2 is the pot that Celtic will be in. There's no point in talking about pot 2 because Celtic are in pot 2. Pot 3, Anderlecht, Sturm Graz, who put 6 past Hearts. Lex, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Sunderland. 3 teams from England. This is what European is fucked. 3 teams from England. So you can pretty much guarantee that Celtic are going to get an English team. And it'll end up being Sunderland. And that will just be a boxing match. Away fans that'll be horrendous if you get Sunderland, because they fucking hate us. Bournemouth, what a shitty place to go to for a game. Crystal Palace, I'd love to get Celta Vigo, personally. I think that'll be a good game. But knowing us, we'll end up getting one of the 3 English teams that are in that pot. Pot 4, there's an Israel team. You can guarantee that Celtic are going to get the Israeli team. It's written in the fucking stars, isn't it? I'm not excited about it, I'll be honest. Not excited about it at all. It means Sunday football again. Sunday 1 o'clock kickoffs. I suppose the only good thing is it gives me frees up Saturday to go out and do things with the missus for the rest of the year, because Saturdays are now a non-entity for Celtic when it comes to football, and it makes it difficult for all the fans that go to home games, all the travelling fans that come over from all over Ireland and England, and there are thousands to get to games. They've got to book ferries in advance and stuff, and I just don't know what to say this morning. Celtic forever, like beat the double Huns. If anybody is just happy with beating Rangers, they'd be as well just chucking it. Go and support Livingston or something. Because I'm not happy with Celtic this morning. I think it's disgusting. Let's listen to Martin O'Neill and what he said after the interview last night. And he took full responsibility for the shambles that was. He took it on himself. He's taken full responsibility, he's saying, which is good. Let's get it right back to the beginning.
It's down to me, regardless of whatever you think it might be. Whether it's tactics, whether it's fitness, it's just everything perhaps. But we shouldn't have done that. And from the position that we were in, we shouldn't even have been going into extra time.
You've been in football for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Is tonight's result up there with one of the worst you've experienced on the touchline?
Yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, naturally, it took me a long time to get over the UEFA Cup final in 2003, and but this was majorly disappointing.
Captain Callum McGregor apologised to the fans afterwards. He said, "We got what we deserved. We actually looked scared to go and win the game. I don't think we were that good in the first leg either, and we kind of got away with it. When you play like that, you can't have any excuse whatsoever. We have to suck it up. We apologise to the supporters and to the club because there's no way we should lose that game. Now we have to see what character we have." Strong words. And this is a truly remarkable stat. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Celtic had more possession than their host last night, yet Lask managed 40 shots at goal to Celtic's 8, and they had an expected goals tally of 4.91.
The qualification for the Champions League is major. It's really major. It's major in every aspect. It is for financially for the football club. It is for prestige for all of us. Want to try and qualify. And being in the Europa League, scant consolation tonight. But we have to pick ourselves up, and and that's what we'll have to do. And that's my responsibility again to do that.
Whatever comes towards you in the
Martin
digital
O'Neill's
world, you have the big
responsibility. Martin O'Neill takes full responsibility. People clamoured for Martin O'Neill to return to the club. People said that he should be given the chance to run the club for a full season. People said that we fully back Martin O'Neill. Last night, the comments would say otherwise after the game, and this morning on social media. I'm going to jump into the comments this morning because there is a couple of other things. Martin O'Neill did talk about the fact he spoke to the BBC after the game, and he said, this is Martin O'Neill's own words, "I think we know that we are a million miles from the finished article. This is absolutely true. I think we thought that anyway, regardless of the result tonight." So going into the game last night, Martin O'Neill had one hand tied behind his back by the board. Again. We gave the board space. We gave the board time to breathe last season. I said at the time it would be a mistake, and we would come to rue that mistake. Yes, we wanted unity to go on and win the league. The worst thing that happened to Celtic last season, in my opinion, was winning the league with 10 seconds to go. I think if Hearts had went in and scored, Celtic would be in a far better place today. Yeah, it's great winning the league. Love it. Go through the summer and you're happy. But we're allowing the board to make the same mistakes again and again and again. And people will say, well, let's do another penny campaign. Too late. 99.5% renewed their season tickets. Season ticket renewal sold out. People say, well, don't go to boycott Europa. Well, that'll fucking make a lot of difference, won't it? That'll even just hurt us in the pocket even more. Well, that's what we need to do. Hurt the club in the pocket. Martin O'Neill says that Celtic still have work to do in the market, and he made it clear he wanted further additions to the squad, regardless, he said before the game, of what competition. He says, and this is Martin O'Neill last night, missing out on the Champions League now makes some deals more difficult. Despite the significant cash reserve that Celtic have got, some players will just not come to Celtic now because we are out of the Champions League. Don't be surprised if Nico Sigor decides to go to another club. Don't be surprised if deals now collapse and players walk away from Celtic because we're a shambles. Rather than the club being proactive over the summer, and it's... See the people, see the Celtic fans that got their pictures taken and their selfies with Brian Wilson last night. I hope you've woken up in the hotel this morning with the biggest fear and embarrassment in your life. Oh, let's get our picture taken with Brian Wilson. All right, Brian, fucking brilliant, man. We're fucking 3-0, fucking all. Oh, we're on 1-0 against the... Fuck off. The fact that Celtic were linked with a Bosnia-Herzegovina midfielder yesterday, will that deal go through? Celtic were locked in discussions with them. Will Celtic pay £7-8 million for players now? Is that, have we reached the limit? Will the board go, well, we fucked that, you fucked that, you fucked it? They will point the finger at Martin O'Neill and say, you fucking fucked it. We give you 30 odd million to spend. We backed you. They will flip the cards and take no responsibility. What we need to do now is just get behind the team and back the team as much as we can so we can have a successful season. Fuck your anti-board campaigns. They mean fuck all. Sorry if you feel otherwise, but the pressure should have been put on last season. The pressure should have been put on the summer. There is no point resurrecting it now because of that result last night. It's just my opinion, and it is a game about opinions. And I'll tell you one thing. When you look at some of the teams that we can get in the Europa, Martin O'Neill and some fans may be all excited and reminisce about 2003, that famous season where we won nothing. Nothing. We won nada. But it was great, 2003. It's an embarrassment that we're even talking about that all these years later. Total embarrassment. Martin O'Neill says it took him a long time to get over it. He said that last night was a worst result, and it should be, because we were 4-0 up. 4-0 up in a game, and all you had to do was coast it. We scored the first goal, and then we sat back and passed the ball backwards. Brendan Rodgers-esque type football. Passing and talk about the biggest cock-up of the evening was Benji Negrin. Rather than pass it back to Callum McGregor, who's standing himself in the middle of the park in the Celtic half, he decides to pass it backwards towards the goalkeeper. In doing so, one of their players sees that the ball's nowhere near the keeper, grabs the ball, takes a couple of touches, smashes it in the back of the net. We caused our own downfall last night. And I don't even want to slate the players. I don't even want to go through the player ratings because I think that everyone will agree that the fact that Callum McGregor comes out and even Mika Bauer coming out and saying that this was the worst result in his career. At 22-year-old, Mika Bauer says that Celtic players need to examine themselves after that collapse. Don't know if else O'Neill took responsibility. Mika Bauer, who joined the club, 2 weeks ago? He said the dressing room, Mika Bauer said after the game, the dressing room is silent. Really sad after that defeat. That's embarrassing. Because I'm wanting my players to be angry. I'm wanting the manager to be angry. I'm wanting the backroom staff to be angry. I'm not wanting them sitting in the corners all fucking looking down at the ground feeling sorry for themselves. Really? It shows you what we have become. And this is another thing, right? Man United fans are just pitied now in England. And I did a thing the other day in the video showing a Paddy Power piss take of Manchester United. How the mighty fall. Celtic can do that. Don't know, if I was saying, it's all about dominating Scottish football. Is that it? Is that your wishes? Anyway, Mika Bauer said the atmosphere in the Celtic dressing room is silent. It's really, really sad. After that defeat, there's not much going on. No one speaks. He said everyone is within themselves. Mika Bauer made his third appearance for Celtic at Austria, and he says that loss was the toughest moment of his career, he said. But whilst it's a really sad moment, we still play in the Europa League. We still have a lot going on in Scotland. We need to move on tomorrow and stay together. We need to come back and try better on Saturday. He emphasised the importance of, obviously, it was a big match that we lost, but we have to move on. We need to stay together and be even closer than before, says Mika Bauer. And I think that we do. I think it's the wrong time to turn on the players on the board. People may think differently. People may think, no, bring about another penny campaign, etc., etc. Let's put pressure on them. Let's get rid of these people. It's too late. Now's not the time. Throughout the season, yes. We now go into the transfer window on a week's time, Wednesday. And Celtic will struggle now to get some of the top targets that they've maybe been after, and players that have maybe been hanging off and going, yeah, I'll come to Celtic if you get into the Champions League. That's the basis that will come to Celtic if you're a Champions League club. Because other than that, I'm not going to play in Scotland to play in fucking Dundee and Aberdeen and Kilmarnock. Shitty little grounds. You look at that ground last night. Scotland are way behind everywhere. We're way behind as a nation. Way behind. Do you know, you go to Hearts ground and they're like, it's 4 separate stands. You go to Hibs ground, it's 4 separate stands. You go to Falkirk, it's only 3 stands. 3 separate stands. Aberdeen, 4 separate stands. Ibrox, we filled in the staircases, it's a proper stadium. No, it's not. It's 4 separate stands. Celtic were the last club to build a decent stadium in Scotland. And we built that in the 1990s. People that run the game, it's not just at the top end of Celtic. People that run the game in Scotland should be ashamed of themselves. When you look at that stadium last night, tidy little stadium, complete stadium, fantastic atmosphere, 19,000 capacity. 19,000. You look at Dundee United Stadium. Celtic go, there's hardly anybody there. It's a shit stadium. The toilets are out of the 1970s, 60s, 50s in that away end. Dundee Stadium. The game's fucked in Scotland. And once you wake up and smell the coffee, that's the better. Because I'll tell you one thing. People say, but it's the best supported league in Europe. Give us a break, man. By capita, it's the best supported league in Europe. Fuck off, fucking wet. Ugh. Right, I'm going to jump into the comments. I've had enough of a rant this morning. We're going to get in basement bargain players now. How on earth does Celtic recover from this? We recover from it by backing the team. There will be a section of the support that will want to reignite their hatred for all things Celtic boards. They will do that anyway. I said that there had to be some continuation, regardless of the result. I did say the other day that there has to be some continuation to put pressure on Dermot Desmond to step aside in some capacity, because it's not the board's members that are the issue, it's Dermot Desmond. The fact that he hasn't brought in someone to take over from Brian Wilson is embarrassing. We're in August. You've got to remember that Peter Lawwell stood down on the last day of December last year. But in the space of 8 months, we can't find a replacement. That's on Dermot Desmond. That's not on the board. That's on Dermot. He's the one. If you want to put pressure on anybody going forward, the campaign has to be against Dermot Desmond, not against the board. Board change will come with change of the man at the very top. And until we get rid of him, nothing will change. That's my opinion. Balance sheet is going down again. This will hit hard again. Still in profit, players-wise. And we haven't spent a penny. Hatate will give him plenty. Hatate doesn't even want to be at the club. And second half, Trusty, shit ourselves. Yes, we did that. What was that last night? I have no idea. We shot it by new season, same shit. It was embarrassing seeing how the comments was going. I actually feel worse this morning. Brutal. Yeah, I think to do. I'm going to jump through some of these. What a disgrace we are. McGregor hanging the team out to dry. Maybe he should hang up his boots. McGregor knows that the players that are around him aren't of a good enough standard. By accepting Yang as a number one winger at Celtic, it shows how our expectations have regressed. And when our expectations regress and we accept mediocre players, this time last year, Yang was getting punted for £3 million. Luke McCowan deletes his Instagram last night. Completely deleted his Instagram. Jimmy's been a member for 8 months. The board surprisingly does their job. We could go on a run in Europa and send Martin off with a treble. Perfect send-off. That's how he started. Yeah, but the glorious season that Martin is known for was a season of failure. I'm just putting that out there. He was given fantastic money to bring in the likes of John Hartson and everybody. Well, Chris Sutton. Don't know, he was given money. He's been given money this year, the board will say, but I don't think that we will do well in Europe. I'm just putting it out there. McCowan was awful. He's been getting pelters and turned off his Instagram. Yep, he has that, and quite rightly so. We accept mediocre everything in Scotland. Yeah, we do. Said it when we voted against our own independence. Said, I'm done. I'm done. The country's just shit. Said it before the game, Baz. I was worried about the midfield and defence. Yes, you did, mate. And we still haven't a settled chairman because no decent candidates would touch the job with a proverbial barge pole. I think McCowan knows what he was in for. That's why he deleted it. Jim says, Baz said it, and I'll be repeating myself, as long as Dermot Desmond is in charge, Celtic will never progress. And it's true. It's, for me, stop waving your flags against Nicholson and co, because they're just puppets. And it's sad. It is really sad. We're targeting the wrong person at the club. We're targeting. We should be targeting the person that is absent. No, where was Dermot Desmond last night? He wasn't at the game. Doesn't have to be. We went into the last 5 minutes and we were still passing the ball backwards. Yeah. And that's down. I mean, people are saying Sean Maloney for the next manager. Not a chance. No way. He's straight out of the Brendan School of Football. And I'm surprised that Fozzie is in the dressing room and not having a go at the players. But then they'll be saying, and do you know what it is? It's modern young men. Do you know, they need a friggin' cuddle. They're all sitting there within themselves, feeling sorry for themselves. Sad. Don't know, it's my mental health will take an impact from this. I'm going to have to delete my Instagram. Fuck off. Someone says yesterday, we need to channel our inner Lisbon line. Wow. That team definitely did not do that anyway. 40 chances at goal. And the thing is it was no surprise to anyone in the media, because they said in their pre-match interviews that they were going to score 5 goals. That was their target, 5 goals. They had a plan. Attack, shoot at will. They had a 5'6" midfielder worth 2.5 million running the game. And he was very clever, because he was a central midfielder, but then he was passing the ball away and then he was going away wide. Very clever player. Wasn't getting himself involved so that he could get away from Celtic players and then he could make good runs, get the ball and make fantastic crosses. It was 2.5 million. I'm glad that Martin O'Neill took full responsibility for last night, but where does it take? Where do we go? Dermot and Nicholson probably rubbing his hands. Doesn't need to pay all the add-ons. with Bauer Hassan if we went through. Yes, this is maybe true. All the add-ons of the Champions League. McCowan gets a part show. He can improve. Brendan knew Desmond's a bastard. Why spend the $9 million on a winger that's not fit? Dell, he's not had a pre-season. We should have had him in earlier. Do you know, World Cup stuff and that, it's such a Celtic thing. Has the club given the money back for the fans last night that travelled? Nope. And I seen there was a few guys on my Facebook that were at the game. They weren't too happy. So much for our Champions League quality players we brought in. Both were terrible last night. And the thing is I can understand why we're trying to get the long ball up to Casper. But if you're going to put a long ball up to him and it hits his head or comes off his chest and he's got two defenders round him, he needs help from Benji Negron. Because Benji Negron was the centre attacking midfielder that was meant to be up there giving him a little bit of a help. Second striker type thing. Benji Negron was terrible last night. He gave Casper no help whatsoever. Playing one striker up front in Europe is a disaster waiting to happen. When they went on the attack last night, it was 4 against 4 at the back, with runners coming in to help them. It was wave after wave of attack. Celtic sat back. And then when Celtic got the ball, passed back the way. Passed to the side. Changed the point of attack. It was Brendan ball. Complete Brendan ball. Fast attacking football, gone. Bazar midfield is the worst in our league. I fear for the league now. I'm going to be honest. The best thing that can happen to Celtic this season is lose the league. I'm going to say that. I think we need to lose the league to get significant change at the club. It's not nice. We've had 20, and this is why. Hear me out. We've had 25 years or so of pretty much dominance in Scottish football. We have had... The last time that we qualified for the Champions League was in 2017 against Anastar through the playoff. 2017. 2018, aka Athens, third qualifying round. Not even the playoffs, third qualifying round, aka. 2019, Cluj. 2020, a team that went far in Europe under an Irish manager that nobody wanted at Celtic. But he wasn't the manager of them then. Midtjylland 2021, 2025, Carrot Almaty at the playoff. Midtjylland was qualifying too. And 2026, Lask, the playoff. 4-0 up in the tie. I'm going to be honest, I don't want Martin O'Neill to win the league. Sometimes you have to lose to go forward. And if we win the league, we're just papering over the cracks. We're allowing the board to bring in a new manager and saying, oh, it's okay, we'll back him. And it's the same old, same old, same old. And nothing will change. And people will say, well, sack the board. Sack the board. Dermot Desmond's still in charge. Dermot Desmond will still be the man making the call. Dermot Desmond will still be the person that decides who the manager is. Dermot Desmond is the issue. It's not Michael Nicholson. It's not Chris Mackay. Because when you remove Dermot Desmond, that's when you remove Nicholson, Mackay, etc., etc. We need someone somehow. And don't get me started on Willie Hockey and his campaign, because he's in Dermot Desmond's back pocket. 10 million's nothing to him. He's given away 10 million so fans can get a seat on the board to say what? They'll be told to shut the fuck up. It's jump back into the comments this morning. Yeah, losing the league won't change anything, and the board will still get their season ticket money. It's never good to lose. No way. The definition of madness is repeating the same thing year after year and expecting a different result. We do the same thing year after year, and I'm sorry, but if the majority of fans are just happy, if you're not hurting after last night and you're thinking it's fine, we'll win a treble. See, if you're hurting this morning, you're lying to yourself. Because if you think it's fine, we'll win a treble, oh fucking yes, and we'll sing all Celtic fans against the board during the campaign. Well, you're not listening to your inner Celtic soul. You're not listening to what really needs to happen. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing will change this season. Michael Nicholson will still be here at the end of the campaign. Chris Mackay will still be here at the end of the campaign. Martin O'Neill will be lucky if he's still here. In fact, they won't sack him. They would keep him to the end of the year, even if we lost the league. I wanted Kieran McKenna in as manager when Brendan Rodgers left. I just hope that we can go out and get a quality manager that knows how to do stuff. Do you know, people didn't want Robbie Keane, who'd proven himself at a European level. There's something wrong at Celtic, and it's not just at boardroom level. Do you know, it's right through the club. Do you think losing the league would be enough for Desmond to get out? I don't, sadly. No, I don't, but I think that it could then it would give the fans the ammunition to put even more pressure on the board. Fans could put pressure on the board throughout the season. Nothing's going to change at Celtic until we put a concerted effort into trying to remove Dermot. Or Dermot turns around and goes, right, somebody's going to have to take the hit for this. And it's not going to be bloody me. So you either pull short straws to see who's taking the hit, or one of you resign. Simple as that. "10 years since we qualified for the Champions League through qualification. I know that we've automatically got in, and those seasons have been fantastic. It's just shit. Dermot doesn't give a fuck if we win the league or not. Nothing will change. He's in charge. 1 week left for the window, and only one decent goalkeeper. One left back, and two right backs that aren't good enough, and only 3 decent centre backs. We're a laughing stock. There's been no significant improvement in a lot of the team. Don't know, bringing in Mika Bauer looks like he's going to be a fantastic addition. For him to say that this is the worst result he's ever had in his football career, Jesus, he's not going to be around Celtic for long, is he? He's going to want out within a season. Anyway, Scottish football, in particular Celtic, are a joke to the rest of Europe and the world. A laughing stock. Yeah. I wouldn't say particularly Celtic, because every other club that goes into Europe have had an absolute disaster for years. Said it before. When you get the likes of St Mirren, winning cups and again getting their wee jollies in Europe, they can't compete. The Scottish League needs to have a good look at itself. But anyway, shocking fitness, shocking passing, shocking set plays. Yep. Don't buy Europa League tickets. That's not going to make a difference. That's going back to Ronnie Dyler years, and that'll not happen. I said during the summer that there is a chance that this season could be a Ronnie Dyler type season. I now think that some Celtic fans will go, yeah, fuck it. I'm not buying Europa season tickets. I'm not buying the Europa tickets. So you're going to have a big section upstairs inside Celtic Park that they'll just put green tarpaulin over, a bit of fucking plastic over the seats. Yeah, it's all green. There's no empty seats up there. It's a green sea. You just can't see anyone. Yeah, there's no empty seats. We've partitioned it all off, so there's no empty seats. It's the chance of having a Ronnie Dyler type season this year. Same last year. Engels without adequate replacement right before the biggest game of the year. The whole coaching staff at Celtic are not good enough. Martin O'Neill should have walked away. He's too old for this shit, says Jerry. I don't think that anybody in the Celtic fan base should be talking down about Martin O'Neill, because it was the Celtic fan base in big numbers. The majority of Celtic fans wanted Martin O'Neill. 99.5% renewal, season ticket renewal, wanted Martin O'Neill as manager this season. I'm just saying. So I don't think that we should be targeting Martin O'Neill. It is what it is. It's he's a yes man. It's pressure. Similar at Gers with the league, when the big games come, it overpowers players. Bad choices. Looks like lack of energy. Lethargic last night. I think that Celtic had more energy than the other team. It was only a couple of players that went down camp. They had more going down camp. Not another penny campaign. Don't buy Europa tickets. Strangle the board until they are forced to change. That's not going to make it change. That's not going to... Listen, Ronnie Dyler, half top of a stand, was just plastered over. Don't come back with not another penny campaign now. The campaign should have kept on going after we won the league. By the scruff of our teeth. Let's face it. And then we played Dunfermline. You were always going to win that game. The Not Another Penny campaign and all these organisations should have increased. They stopped, because let's be unity to win the league. You're playing into the board's hand. The boards don't give a shit about the Europa money. They know it's fuck all. You think that boycotting Europa League games is going to make a difference to the board? They've got your season ticket money, mate. They've got full season ticket, and then fans not turning up doesn't matter. Season tickets are paid for up front or on direct debit. If you stop paying your direct debit, you lose your seat. You're not going to lose your seat, are you? So you keep paying your direct debit. Jesus. Question is, where do we go from here? Don't know, and I'm not the one to make that decision. I think that's a decision for all these organisations to come together under one, not individual little secret meetings. There needs to be... No, do you know where we go from here? Is we back the team and we back the manager. We completely back the team and back the manager. If people want to campaign against the board, let them have at it, mate. I'm going to focus after today, after I calm down and we look forward to the weekend, and I've got this out of my system, we get back to completely backing the team and backing the managers as much as we can. And yeah, if that means just winning a treble, so be it. Shut. We should be in the Conference League with the rest of the dross. Excuses 4-0 up, for fuck's sake. There's no excuses here. And Martin O'Neill took full responsibility. Baz, if we keep giving them money, nothing will change. From that Dick Desmond, still 7 million in profit. So the Dick has spent fuck all. Yeah. Celtic have been spending money. The only thing is they leave it too late. Same old. And Ronnie says, sack the board. And allow Dermot Desmond to make the same changes. It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's just, people don't get it. Sorry, Ronnie, or Ron. It's, sack the board's going to do nothing. You can get rid of Michael Nicholson tomorrow. No change. You got rid of Peter Lawwell. No change. Wake up and smell the coffee. All you people need to come together that want to sack the board. You need to think of a campaign to hit Dermot Desmond. That's the only way forward. Standing in the stand singing, "Oh, Celtic fans against the board, against the board." They're sitting going, fucking knobheads. Fucking the minions are upset again. That's as simple as it is. Don't know. The sack the board campaign never worked, won't work until you get rid of Dermot Desmond. So let's change the tune and sack Dermot Desmond. Find a way to get rid of Dermot Desmond. The whole midfield disappeared last night. And get off the gaffer's back for fuck's sake. Those players need a boot in the baz. They shat it. Fitness shite, bottle merchants. It's worrying times ahead. Martin O'Neill even said that he believes that the squad is a million miles off of where it needs to be. We need to protest about the board every game. I'm not taking any advice. Who's got the Super Luke McCowan? You need to change that name, mate. Super Luke McCowan. Seriously. Yeah, I'm like that. Desmond, the despot, cut the head off the snake. Yeah, well, I'm not saying that someone should do that to Dermot Desmond, but yes, that's what you've got to do. Nothing changes, no matter how many protests, how many banners. Nothing is going to change. I'm glad that there are people within our support that I am glad that there are people within the board, within the fan base, that realise that, you know, sacking the board means nothing. Getting rid of Brian Wilson, why is he even still here? Why hasn't Lawwell been replaced after 8 months? Because Dermot Desmond doesn't want anybody else in. Dermot Desmond wants yes men. People that he knows that will just do as he says. Anyway, I don't want him to get out, to go out to the bin. The board, Dermot Desmond, have changed this summer. Unrealistic to think that they could change. Quantity needed quickly. It's past window. It's done now. Move on, back to team and the manager, and improve the team. Are we in the Europa League? Yes, we are in the Europa League, and we are in pot 2. We're in the Europa League in pot 2. These are the teams that we could face: Bayer Leverkusen of Germany, Benfica, Juventus, AC Milan, AZ Alkmaar, and Olympiacos, Fenerbahce, Real Sociedad, that's one I want, or Marseille in France. Knowing us, we'll get Marseille. And it's interesting when you see that Bayer Leverkusen is at a 105,000 stadium, is it? Oh no, it's the points, isn't it? It's the points that they're on for the coefficient. You look at Celtic way down at 44. Celtic are in pot 2. Interesting one. Slovan Bratislava. Celtic demolished them there, remember, in the Champions League a few years back when we automatically qualified. Rennes are also in pot 2. That's a fantastic little town, even though Kyogo Furiashi couldn't make it at Rennes. Rennes was a lovely stadium. I liked going to Rennes. It was an interesting away trip, that one, right before the COVID lockdown. And then in pot 3, Anderlecht, Sturm Graz, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Sunderland. 3 English teams in the same pot. So you can guarantee that Celtic will end up getting Sunderland, because that would just be. And then there's the team that beat Rangers, are in pot 3. Yes, the password team that took the pure pish out of Rangers and sat in the Rangers dugout and typed in passwords and typed in Rangers FC and then deleted it and said here's a proper password and typed in the name of their team. Celta Vigo in pot 3. That's a nice little away game that I would want. My idea of the competition would be get Real Sociedad and then get Celta Vigo, and then in group 4 NAC, because they're seemingly a shambles just now. I'll ask my Dutch friend this afternoon and around about 2 hours time when I'm going to meet up with them at lunchtime. But anyway, that is the teams that Celtic could face. Right, West Ham get 110 million for getting relegated, says Liam. I don't even want it. What's the point in even Liam? What is the point in even in talking about West Ham getting 110 million for getting relegated? We get 5 million for winning the league. So what? Who gives a shit what they get? There's no point in comparing ourselves to the English league because we're miles off it. I don't know. We know that money in Scotland is the issue, and that's all about people that run the game. Scotland doesn't do anything to deserve money. If you want investment, you need a better product first. You need a better product, you need better stadiums, and you need fans that want to go to games. People in Scotland are fed up of Celtic winning the league. I get that. Celtic fans think it's great with the domination. So it has the adverse effect that nobody can do anything in Europe. And I don't even want to talk about it. It's absolutely fucking up the round. Anyway, Mika Bauer, for those that didn't come in earlier in the video, Mika Bauer says that this is the worst game, the worst result of his lifetime. He said we need to come back better on Saturday. He emphasises the importance of unity and the team staying focused on future matches. We lost a big match. We have to move on. We need to stay together even closer than before. I think it's now a tough time, but this team is capable of it, says Mika Bauer. Whilst Mika Bauer says that, Callum McGregor says it was an absolute shit show, which it was. Martin O'Neill says that this could affect certain deals now being done. I expect players that were close to signing for Celtic now going, nope, I ain't going to Celtic, I ain't playing in Europa, and I ain't playing in Scotland. Let's face it. Who would want to come and anybody that says, yeah, why don't you want to come to Celtic? It's great. It's a great league. You can win things. Mate, you just got fucking humbled in the Champions League. Don't know, I want to play in the Champions League. No thanks. I don't really fancy the Scottish League. Let's be honest. Anyway, point blank, doesn't matter anyway, comparing ourselves to England. Yeah, exactly. Finish following our piss poor club. Oh, says Paul. Well, no, that's not going to happen with me. We can't compete with the division for money. This is very true. The fans were on great form. Their fans were on great form. Yeah, it is. It's Stephen Sloan said that's bonkers. Stephen Sloan. The biggest thing in Scotland needs is to get rid of 4 season fixtures. Yes, that's what's killing the game. And Sky's stranglehold on, we will only give you money. We will only give you sponsorship of Europe. We'll only give you TV money if we get 4 Celtic Rangers games a season. And that is the sad indictment of the people that run the game, because they want the status quo. Luke McCowan better keep his mouth shut in the next few weeks while he's deleted his Instagram. You've got to give the opposition a lot of credit. They were superior all over the pitch and looked miles fitter. I congratulated them last night. I thought they played fantastic. I thought Celtic just, for a team, even Martin O'Neill said last night, it was wave after wave after wave of attack. I said it during the live that Celtic, when they did get a breather, what did Celtic do? Just pass it back. Pass it back. Side to side, pass it back. Oh, I'm going to try and pass it to the keeper. Oh fuck! We've just given away a goal. Luke McCowan hopefully get a move in the next few weeks. Hopefully demands a move. Remember, he was the man. Luke McCowan, Big Boss Luke, said if Wilfred Nancy's still going to be here, didn't Luke McCowan just get a contract extension last season? We need Tenecti, Yang, Sinicello, McCowan, Trusty, Scales, Tierney, the Ox. They aren't Celtic class, says Joe. We need a big Wanyama type. Well, I don't think that we're going to get the big command. And I think that us now spending 20 million in the next week will only happen if we sell Rio Hatate for 5 million. I think Celtic's limit now is 10 million, the money that we've brought in this season. Celtic will not dip into the coffers. They will not dip into the 70 odd million that's in the bank, and they will batten down the hatches, as they say, completely batten down the hatches to just expect a lot of abuse. Blame the SPFL for telling Sky no back in the day. This is it. Exactly. Blame not getting independent and Brexit. Yes, tell me about it. That's why I stay in a foreign country. I fucked off. I agree, 38 game season, 16 team. I think so. United didn't look interested last night. To be fair, also is Nancy's still here. We'd probably be better off with Nancy. At least we'd have someone decent to blame. Lask and pot 4 in Europa team at best. And we'll be doing. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not even looking forward to the draw now. I was totally buzzing for the draw on Thursday. Lask fans schooled us last night once Benji Negrin gave them the goal. The team schooled us the last 10 minutes. We were desperate for a goal. Yeah. So this is just misses. Right, anyway, I've been on for 56 minutes this morning. Thank you to the 3,000 people that have been online this morning to listen to a lot of us complaining and moaning. Free agents, loan signings inbound, says Ryan. I've got another 4 or 5 minutes to go. Remember one of the 0-0 games, Rangers just kept hitting, I don't know, who cares. It will be interesting to see how many points Lask get in the group stage. It doesn't matter. Kara Almaty were whipping boys in the Champions League last year. Kara Almaty were getting scudded 5-0 in the Champions League. McCowan lost the ball 19 times last night. Yes, he did that. I seen the stat for that. A lot of the Scandinavian teams and Eastern Europe teams are far better. Yeah, they are. Faster, taller. Well, look, they had a guy that was You had a guy that was 5'6" last night, and he was their captain, and he was 30-year-old, and he was way better than Callum McGregor. And at $2.5 million, whose contract runs out in 2028, he would be a steal, an absolute steal for the SPFL. But then in the SPFL, it's a different type of football. Because it's bully boy tactics. It's shite football. It's fucking shoulder. It was a shoulder barge. It's fucking horrible football. But people say, "Oh, it's one of the best leagues," and no, it's not. Will we ever see Champions League qualifying success again? I'm 54 years old. We're getting on, Baz. Yeah, mate. That's a good question. Under this board? No. I don't think that they are. The board will say, I mean, Martin O'Neill says we should never have lost 5 goals last night. But when you've got a team that have an agenda before the game and say, we're just, every chance, just keep going forward. Martin O'Neill said when he came back, he said, football analytics and all this data and everything else. Football's an easy game. Get the ball, go forward, and try and score goals. I would go and get the Lask manager. We all wanted Jens, who was at Motherwell last year. But a lot of the fans weren't interested in Jens. A lot of the fans just wanted Martin O'Neill. Be careful what you wish for. That's all I'm saying. It's a sad indictment of the club. Martin O'Neill will be backed. Martin O'Neill will win games in the Scottish football. And I've spoke about this before, and I don't. We're at a crossroad in the timeline of Celtic Football Club. Celtic over the years have always had someone in and around the club that's been there for 3 or 4 or 5 years that you could say that that's the next potential captain. Kieran Tierney isn't captain material. Luke McCowan isn't captain material. Bringing in a foreigner to be captain of Celtic doesn't really work, because they don't know, and maybe it's time for change. I don't know. But when you're not connected to the club, I mean, Paul Lambert wasn't connected to the club, let's be honest. You know, when he was captain, he wasn't connected. Jackie McNamara, his dad played for the club, so, but his dad's a Hibby, big Hibby. I don't know. I just don't know. People were clambering for Alistair Johnson to be the next captain. Alistair Johnson wanted away, and if it's only for his injury that he's still at the club. So even Alistair Johnson, all badge kissing, saying, "Oh, I'd love to be at Celtic my whole career." Modern players are full of shit. Modern players will say, I mean, Kelechi Iheanacho kissing the badge because he scored a goal. You know, giving it fucking big luck, fucking giving it this with the badge and everything at his new club. This is the man that was dying to stay at Celtic. Rodgers is a funny old game. Maloney still plays Rodgers pass back pish. Yes, he does that. 4 signings for the Champions League, and that's after losing 16. That was the biggest thing ever. Carnwath was done a year and a half ago. Need a new keeper. Zero player have captain material in that team last night. No. Colby Donovan next captain. I would probably say yes if there's anybody at Celtic that has the potential to be a future captain. But I don't think that Colby will get it straight away, obviously because of his age. I think that he will grow into that position. He will get better. He is only 19. It's a hard one for him to take because he's one of us. But we need better players around him. No respectable manager will go near us. Oh, that's a hard one. Maloney is running this team. A hard one to think about, mate. So it is. I can't see. Martin O'Neill team selection tactics and substitutions are poor and predictable. We need a top-class centre-back with speed. Cameron Carter-Vickers is finished. He's so injury-prone and he's far too slow. Alistair Johnson's made of glass from 4-0. From 4-0 to 5-4. We deserve to be mocked. Did Alistair Johnson want to go, or was he being pushed by the board? No, he told Martin O'Neill that he wanted to go. And Martin O'Neill said if it wasn't for his injury, he would have left. Martin O'Neill looked ill last night. It's affecting his health, and he needs to pack it in with your health and family and much more. Well, I said that and I was slated. But anyway, McGregor's comments are damning. Who's scared? Captain is a worthless role. Players bottled it to 8 shitebags. McGregor played well last night. He was putting out fires. A lot of incompetent colleagues last night. Martin O'Neill was mostly to blame. Let's not give him a free pass. Is it giving Martin O'Neill a free pass, or is it... It's difficult because... I mean, the board will say, well, you spent £30 million, Martin. Callum McGregor said that he didn't think that Celtic were that good in the first half in the game, the leg at Celtic Park. We knew that they had goals in them. We knew that they had chances. For them to have 40 shots on target. And Celtic fucked it for themselves. When you've got a team that are pushing up at 4-on-4, you don't play it for the back. But Martin O'Neill said, well, I got the keeper to play long. I got the keeper to do long balls up to Casper. Yeah, but Casper's up there with 2 men standing right next to him. Do you know, there's 2 guys at either side. Casper will get the ball, but it takes a really good striker to either get the ball for a header and get it down and control it when you've got 2 players trying to take the ball off him. He had no help. Do you know, and saying that Casper was shit, he didn't get the right type of help, if you ask me. Defence was shocking. Midfield can easily be run over. We need to modernise the club, but Desmond's likely to do everything his way. Can't buy a win away in the Europa. It's been the same shite for years. Del Boy says we need more than one captain in the team. Good teams have more than one captain. Martin O'Neill, his first team, his team of players that he had leaders all over the park. We don't have leaders all over the park. You know, we've got journeymen. People that are brought to Celtic on a promise. On a promise of come to Celtic, we'll sell you in 2 years for massive profit to another club in Europe, and they will give you even more wages. That's how we sell the club to players. We sold the club on the promise that we were going to get into the Champions League. Martin O'Neill said last night that this may change things in the transfer window for Celtic. When you think about it, we've still not replaced Brown. No, we haven't. O'Neill spent around -5 million. Baz, and the manager's choice to play Alistair Johnson, wanted to wait Everton, and Everton wanted him. Yes, before you finish, Baz. So you don't want us to win the league now, says Scott. I think that Celtic need a period of failure to move forward. We had a period of failure, and the reason that I'm saying this, right, is we had a period of failure in the 1990s, which was the route for change. Keeping on winning papers over the cracks. Winning the league last year papered over the cracks. People do not get punted from a job when your club's still winning leagues. My heart wants us to win the league. My heart wants us to win a treble. But I think for us to get any substantial change, and for it to infuriate enough fans, because if we do win the league this year, win the treble, we'll go into another summer buoyed by the fact that we have, and then we give the opportunity to the board to try and rectify it, and the board say, oh, it's okay, we've done well. It is what it is, isn't it? Club's fucked. That performance made me lose interest. Now they can go in our shit league. Yeah. We have shitbags all over the team. Just want to say thank you to the 3,500 people that have been on this morning. I know it's always difficult on a Wednesday morning after getting put out of the Champions League. It's not the result I wanted last night. I thought we would maybe get beat 2-1 and then still go through. When we scored that goal, I thought we just need to consolidate. From 35 minutes in, they upped the pace and they just started attacking. I thought if we can get in half time at 1-1, and if Martin O'Neill can get the team up, the spirits up, but we came out the exact same as we were the first half. I was scared going into the Champions League because I said yesterday, before the result, I said I'm expecting to go into the Champions League and get a couple of tankings. We got the tanking last night, and it is what it is. I'll be around about 6 o'clock Celtic Park time tonight as we look forward to the draw tomorrow, the Europa League. That will be interesting to see who we get in the Europa League. Celtic are in Pot 2. Germany, Portugal, Italy, Holland, Greece, Turkey, Spain and France. Teams are all in Pot 1. Some fantastic away days. Fenerbahce, been there before. that was the Jesus. Remember we had Fenerbahce at Celtic before. That was a fucking laugh, wasn't it? Yeah, Juventus. Oh God, it will just be like Martin O'Neill to get Juventus again all these years later. it's written in the stars, isn't it? For Martin O'Neill to get Juventus again. And in pot 3, Belgian team, an Austrian team, Polish, 3 English teams, another Polish team, a Spanish team, and a German team. In pot 4, Turkish team, Portuguese team, Israeli team, we're going to get them, Dutch team, Belgian team, and yeah. It's not the same excitement as the Champions League, is it? It's hard to get excited about it. Anyway, have a fantastic day, Celtic fans. If you can. I know that you can't, because you're always gutted as me. You know, it's, yeah. We all feel sick, but we move on. I think that's probably the best comment that I can end of. Yeah, I'll catch you all in the next video.